Hey there, friends. Just in time for Christmas, Governor Kathy Hochul of the state of New York has put in a new law that's in effect that actually was passed this summer and just went into effect this past week, prohibiting the sale of toy guns in New York. I know a lot of you probably are very similar to the way I was raised and brought up. Some of my fondest memories were playing cops and robbers, cowboys and Indians, things like that. I mean, it was fun stuff, doing shootouts in the yard with our toy guns. And believe me, the toy guns we had back then, you guys will remember, looked very much like guns. We were all smart enough to know that they weren't guns. We knew they were toys. Our parents knew they were toys. We seemed to be remarkably smarter back then. People seem really stupid these days. Well, they think that toy guns being out there makes our communities less safe. Totally stupid. And the reason why they hang their hat on that is because they claim that since 1994, there have been 8 deaths where guns were used in the incidents. Now, like the writer of this story that I pulled this information from made the good point that Hochul is trying to say she wants to make her community safer by outlawing the sale of toy guns. If that's the case and 8 people were killed, then apparently these toy guns were used in the commission of crimes and the criminals were killed as a result of that. If that's the case, who is she trying to make safer? Because if the criminals using a toy gun to commit a crime were the ones that were killed and she's trying to outlaw those toy guns to make our community safer, the only ones who were at risk before were those criminals who got shot using those toys in crimes. I'm perfectly okay with that happening, if you know what I'm saying. More specifically, Hochul said, my top priority as governor is keeping New Yorkers safe, and that means cracking down on devices used to commit crime. Restricting these realistic-looking devices will ensure misleading and potentially dangerous devices are off our streets, keeping kids, law enforcement, and all New Yorkers safe. Bunch of hogwash. It's just, again, it's a virtue signaling thing. Clearly there are some lobbyists who are giving her a lot of money and need her to say things that are anti-gun, and this is one of the ways that she says, hey, can I get another check from you? Because look what I did. I'm going to make a commitment to you guys. Because I had such a good upbringing and so much fun as a child doing the things that I did as normal children did back then, I don't want any of the children in New York to be robbed of this. Now, I'm going to check with my attorneys to make sure that I can, in fact, do this, but this is what I'm proposing. I would like to get residents of New York who are under this draconian law of not allowing the sale of toy guns in that area. Now, keep in mind, the law says it outlaws the sale of toy guns. What I would like to do is have these families, any families in this area whose kids wanted toy guns, realistic looking toy guns. I'm not talking about Nerf guns and whatnot. I'm talking about the ones that we use as children that look like actual guns. If they want one for Christmas, I would like you to send me a Dear Santa letter at paul@legallyarmedamerica.com. Again, paul@legallyarmedamerica.com. And I want your child to tell me why he wants that gun. In fact, if you really want to drive that point home, you can send me a video of your child asking for a toy gun for Christmas and why that child wants that toy gun. What I intend to do, again, if my attorneys read through the law and see that I can legally do this, I intend on donating, shipping, giving gifts to some of these families. I can't obviously guarantee all of them, and I'm not going to do that. But I will commit as far as I can stretch my resources to having some of these children have a happy Christmas and get the toys that they wanted as if they were living in a free state like we live in. So again, let me follow up with my attorneys. In the meantime, if you guys want to start that process, talk to your children. If you know people in the state of New York who might actually be under this law, hey, talk to them and see. Send me a Dear Santa letter at paul@legallyarmedamerica.com. Tell me why the child wants to have these toy guns and what it means to them to have that. And again, it would not hurt to have a video that would certainly drive that point home. I will pick some of the recipients, again, based on guidance from my attorneys, and I will make sure that these kids have a happy, Merry Christmas.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. It's over.